Hey, what's up everybody? This is Chris with the Dream, and in this video we're going to continue the process of modeling our 3D character here in Blender. In the previous lesson, we did some of the rough sculpting of the body. Now in this lesson, we're going to do some of the rough modeling of the actual armor of our Titan. So with that being said, we're just going to hop right into it. Let's go. Alright, so we're pretty much just going to pick up where we left off after sculpting our body. So let's just turn the matte cap back to where we can see all of the different elements. Alright, so now we can see all the different elements. That'll make it easier for us to see the different parts that we have to work with. So the first thing we're going to do is just go ahead and edit this armor. So let's turn back on the grid for a second, but then let's go ahead and select these shoulder pads. Now you're going to go into edit mode by hitting tab, edit. Simple as that. We did this in the lesson before, so you pretty much know it by now. And we're just going to pull this shoulder pads up onto his shoulders. If you're having trouble just like that, where you're having trouble selecting the whole thing, you can either hit L, or it actually might be I might have duplicate here. Let me see. No, not a modifier. Let me see what's going on here real quick. We're just gonna let's put our widget back on, or gizmo, so we can just grab the. Yep, it's still doing the same thing. All right. What's going on? Let's see. Because we applied all our modifiers, and if you move it up in object mode, it all moves. So it's something with the edit mode. Let's see. Now, if you're having the same issue, maybe this will be something you'll be able to troubleshoot when this comes along as you're modeling in at other times. So this is kind of how I troubleshoot things like this. Let's go into face mode, see if we could grab all the faces. I can delete the faces. Let's see, we mirror this. Let's mirror it to the other side. Maybe we were double mirrored or something, somehow. Now let's see if we edit it. And turn my gizmos back on, so I can rotate things like that. It looks like it's working now, more or less. So yeah, we're just going to continue on. So something with the mirror or something like that. So we're just going to continue on. So now we just rotate it and just pretty much just get it to fit his shoulder as we modeled it. There's no right answer to this. You kind of do what feels right at this point. So we're just going to go into edit mode, and you can see we have spaces selected. You can grab multiple things depending on how you want to edit it. So in this instance, we're going to go ahead and grab this face and pull it out a little bit. It actually put it in we're soft selection mode, so it kind of pulls other elements as well. And we're just going to scale that up by hitting the middle mouse button. You can scale up the radius by hitting the middle mouse button. He's going to pull this down like that. Scale down the radius. Alright, it's looking good kind of good on the top. We're going to pull this up just a little bit. Like so. Just like that. Yeah, that looks good. Pull this back down a little bit. You see it's not necessarily on his back right now, so we're going to just make this look a little more flush with as if he's wearing it. Like so. Now we can get out of edit mode and it'll look just like this. We're going to go ahead and go into the armor. Pretty much just doing the same exact thing for all of the different elements, just aligning it with the body. It's pretty straightforward in this lesson. We're going to do the same exact thing by deleting these faces and go ahead and mirroring this again, just in case we're having the same issue that we were having with the shoulder pads. All right, let's go into edit mode. See if we pull. There's not really much we have to change here, but we're just gonna pull some stuff up and just get the flush a little better with the body. If I'm saying that right, is it flush a little better or get it flush with the body? Let's get it closer to the body as if he's wearing it. Let's go into vertex mode, and we could grab the individual points here and then pull those points up. Let's pull them up. Looks like I'm not grabbing something here. Let's look at them. I don't see anything. I'm missing anything. It doesn't seem like it. Let's go. Grab this whole face here. The whole front side. I didn't mean to do that. So we're going to merge the vertices by distance. Just select everything you can and merge them by distance. Maybe that's what was going on with the shoulder pads. So let's try this again. And in order to merge by distance, you can hit Alt-M and it'll bring up the merge. You know, you can merge and you have three options. You pick merge by distance and you can set your distance where you want it to merge. We're pretty much just going to pull these close to the body or his chest. That's looking good. Okay, I'm liking where this is going. All right, well, let's grab these middle ones as well. GG to slide it along the edge that it's already on, so it won't change the shape of it, but it'll just slide it along the edge that's already established. Let's go ahead and pull this up to make this look a little sharper. So we want that one line to look sharp coming down. So we have one fine point at the end. That looks good. Okay. Getting closer. Again, it's just a continuous refinement of pulling these points, pushing them, and just getting them to sit on the character. Now, if you're having trouble with your normals, make sure you recalculate your normals. That's a good thing. And normals are, if it looks funny, like it doesn't look. I was trying to avoid using the word normal, but it doesn't look normal. Like the shading doesn't look right. You just want to calculate your normals. Then you can also, smooth shading or do hard shading or whatnot by right clicking. Now, I think I'm having the same exact issue here. So we're going to do the merge by distance. And you see the normals are messed up again. See, that's when your normals look messed up. So what you want to do there is go ahead and recalculate your normals and it'll fix it. So edit mode, let's do the little stomach piece. So same exact thing. We're going to select the points. We're going to have to merge them by distance. I'm just going to do this for all of them. And pretty much pull these points up like so. See, it's kind of going into the skin over on the side. So we're just going to pull those points closer. Oh yeah, we gotta mirror it. That's right. So we're gonna go ahead and mirror this. Boom. All right, after applying the shade smooth, we just hit the mirror and you pretty much have it good to go. All right, so we're gonna continue on editing this because it's still going through the skin. So let's go ahead and grab those points. You can pull them out or push them forward, either one. I'm gonna push them forward. Boom, like that. Perfect. All right. Let's go ahead and pull this back a little bit. Just a little bit because it's kind of going through the belt now. Boom, and pull this one back just a little bit. Boom, just like that. Yeah. Pull this to the left a little bit and back. It's kind of going through the skin. Let's pull it forward. Like right there. That's cool. That worked. Yep, that works. All right, onto the belt. And again, it's pretty much the same exact thing through all of these parts. We've already established the shapes, so we're gonna pretty much do this through the whole process. So I'm not gonna bore you by letting you sit through this whole process, but you kind of see how we're doing this. It's pretty simple, straightforward. As you saw, when we applied those modifiers, it kind of gave us some errors, so we're just gonna delete the one side like we did here, delete the one side, and then go ahead and apply that mirror modifier to the other side. But make sure you don't merge those vertices as well. So if you're following step by step and you running into this exact issue, go ahead and merge those vertices by a distance and then apply that mirror modifier, and everything should line up as well. So you only have to really edit one side if you do it like this. And that's why I kind of even urge you to go ahead and do the mirror modifier, even if you aren't having these troubles, because again, you can modify one side and it'll do the other side automatically. So we're gonna go ahead and just speed through this process, and we'll just continue to cover. Actually, we're not gonna speed through the process. Let's continue on. Now again, remember you can do that by selecting that selecting the soft select tool up at the top. And it will change the vertices that are around the ones that you've selected. And you can tell by that big circle that goes around it. And if you do your middle mouse button, scroll it down, scroll it up, that's essentially the size of the area that you're going to affect. So that kind of gives you a gauge on how big it is. And it won't pop up until you actually start to move the vertices. So if it doesn't pop up right away, don't be concerned. Just when you start moving the vertices, you'll see it pop up. And that's when you want a middle mouse scroll, which is kind of tricky because, you know, you're in the middle of a click. So now you have to try to middle mouse scroll during the middle of the click. But you'll get used to it. Alright, that back plate is looking... it looks like it's sitting on its back. It's just something. Let's just go ahead and move on to the straps here. And the straps are a little more difficult, but at the same time, it's the same exact concept. We're just going to push and pull the vertices until it looks like it's fitting around the body. Now this looks like this is going to be a little more difficult because it's not as straight as the other ones. So again, we're going to go ahead and mirror this. So go ahead and delete these faces on this side. And go over here to this other side. Get a good angle. Grab all the vertices. We'll grab Well, let's just move this right here right now. Just pull this to the side a little bit, or pull this to the back plate. Is what I'm trying to get it to line up with the back plate right here. So we're just gonna pull it to the back plate. Boom, just like that. And you see the vertices are in the back plate, but the actual mesh isn't in the back plate. So we're just gonna pull it. I was gonna say pull it even further, but we're gonna have to pull the vertices towards the edge of the plate to make it line up better. And probably do the same thing for the top too. Now, one thing you could do at this point, which I'm trying to avoid to make this too complicated, but just to let you know, one thing you can do is do a snap to faces type of move. But we're going to keep this very, very simple for beginners. But you could definitely do a snap to faces, you know, snap to the actual edge of the edge of the armor. Sometimes roughing it till you get an idea of just how to move things. Keeping it simple is the best way. And then, of course, when you learn new tools, you start to use new tools. But for now, at beginner level, let's just keep it very, very simple. Looks like this one's almost lined up already, so we're just gonna tweak it just a little bit. Let me see if I can get this to move along the normals. It doesn't seem like I get it to move along the normals. So we're just gonna continue to tweak it like this. Right? Boom. Let's pull it up to the right a little bit. Boom. Like that. Like that. Like that. All right, this strap isn't looking very strappy. It's kind of jagged looking. So let's see if we can just, you know, get this to look a little better. It's a strap, but it's just not straight on, you know, the top side, as you can tell. So we're just going to try to make this look a little better. Don't forget the mirror to the other side. I kind of went right into modeling and didn't do the mirror. But after you mirror to the other side, you can actually go into sculpt mode. So with that being said, we're not necessarily sculpting. In essence, we're editing the vertices just like we were doing before. But if you go into sculpt mode, you're able to edit the vertices. So there won't be any remeshing or any subdivision, but you just simply, just like here, you go into edit mode, you can grab these nodes. When you go into sculpt mode, you can pretty much move the same nodes, but using the brushes, the sculpting brushes. And I'm just trying to get a good way to make this look a little straighter on the top. And I'm not sure exactly how I want to approach this. Like, do I want to just remove the inside and just re-solidify it? So just have it work with one side or one set of faces. That would be the easiest way, the most, the way that I would have to edit the least amount. Because again, if I do the brush on one side, it has to duplicate on the other side. I'm thinking it through right now. So let's just continue with the brush. So go into sculpt mode. After you select the object and you just pretty much, pull, I'm using the grab tool and just grabbing the elements and kind of playing it by eye at this point. Like, I'm gonna just play it by eye. As you see, when I manipulate one side, the other side doesn't go along as well. So you kind of have to do both sides to make sure it just lines up. So just get different angles and get it to where you want it to be, where it looks good to you. Pulling this down. Pushing this up. There we go. That's looking a lot better. Yeah, here we go. And this is another quick hack that you can just use the brush tool to, instead of using the gizmo and the editing like that, you can actually use the brush tool to kind of edit your mesh. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I like to think of it like right and left brain. And when you're doing it in sculpt mode, it kind of keeps you on that right brain side of being like more creative, more artistic, where you're kind of just like you're drawing. You're just treating it just like you're drawing. Usually when you get into the more like edit mode and, you know, loop cuts and things like that, it gets a little more technical where you have to kind of introduce some of the left brain stuff. So sometimes just staying on the right brain just lets that artistic part come out, and you can pretty much just go with what feels good, because now you're in a natural state of just, if you want to say, drawing or manipulating the mesh instead of worrying about the tools. So that's definitely a good thing about working with the brushes to edit if you're doing like a small edit like this. That's looking pretty good. All right, I'm liking that. We're getting there. So we're gonna do the same exact thing for this strap here. Go ahead and delete the face on the other side so we can mirror this. We went into sculpt mode, just do the same thing, just sculpt as if we're editing. And you saw how painstaking it was for me to do it the first time. Now in sculpt mode, I can just pull it out just like that. I don't have to worry about the arrows or the normals. I can just pull it out to pretty much where I want it to be and line it up as best as I can. Boom. It's looking good. Yep. Just like that. Oh, it's kind of outside right there. Pull it in, boom, just like that. All right. I'm liking that. Looking good. Looks like I got a little peeker in the back here, so we're gonna just tuck him in like that. And you know what you're selecting by when you hover over it, it'll turn yellow. You can tell which vertices you're selecting when it turns yellow. You see the little point turns yellow just like that. All right, this is almost there. I'm liking that. That looks good. That looks good. Alright, so we're going to do the same exact thing for the belt. Let's go. We're going to go ahead and use the sculpt tool because it just seems faster. So we're going to just use the sculpt tool to edit. Remember, we're not sculpting. We're not remeshing or anything. We're just simply selecting the object, going into sculpt mode after you select it. So instead of edit mode, you're going into sculpt mode, and then just simply grab the move brush and use it to pull and push points. But you're not going to remesh. You're not going to do anything like that. You're just going to simply edit with the sculpt brush. And this will keep us, because these armor pieces are already modeled in a way where they're going to be good for rigging, we won't have to remesh this. Only thing we'll have to remesh is the body. So everything else as far as the armor goes, we can go right into, it'll be ready. It's already ready for rigging. We're just straightening it up. Now, of course, when I say we're ready for rigging, as you probably could tell, like his belt buckle doesn't have a lot of definition. So we are going to add a modifier that's going to give us more topology, so it'll look better. But at the same time, like right now, everything is quad, so we'll be ready for that part. All right, let's just get to, pulling out his dodonthodons. Let's just get him out of his leg and just pull him out of his body right here, like that. Simple as this. Let's keep going. Again, like I said, like sometimes the brush it just allows you to just stay in that right brain of just being creative like you're drawing. So just treating it just like that. Like if you were actually sculpting, or sculpting an actual model or a piece of clay, but keeping it at. Now, if you have a problem where this gets in the way, you can simply toggle this off by hitting this element right here, and it'll just toggle that off. So, quick tip. Gonna pull this off, and just pull these ends so it matches our belt a lot better. Just like that. Pull this out of the leg a little bit. Boom, there we go. It looks good. All right. I kind of like the little extra crease that's right there. So let's just keep that crease around, but not too thick, like right here. But let's just keep that crease kind of thin off of his leg. All right, so I really feel like y'all are getting the idea of like pretty much how I'm doing this. I'm not gonna hold you all day long by doing the same process for hours, but you kind of getting the idea of the kind of tools I'm using. So we're gonna go ahead and speed through the rest of this, and probably even when we get to the helmet, probably even give you a quick things that we might do. But again, it's gonna be the same exact thing that we use we've been using for the armor and things like that. So pretty much don't worry about any of that, as far as just you're missing anything. But again, the tools that we showed you just now, how to edit, how to sculpt edit, how to if you are having trouble with the modifier, how to remove the modifiers if they're still there, but apply the mirror modifier so you can edit both sides at the same time. So that being said, we're just going to speed through the rest of this and pretty much meet you at the end if we don't have anything with the helmet that I would definitely want to highlight or point out. Alright, so boom, there it was. In this lesson, you got to see some of the rough modeling of the actual armor for this actual character to align with some of the sculpting that we did for the body. Now in the later lessons, we're gonna go further into detail, but more than anything, we're gonna remesh this actual body so it'll be better for when we actually rig this character. So with that being said, I will see you all in the next lesson. Let's go.